Hello again. Third time, eh? Third time. The third time again. They keep breaking it, but it doesn't matter. We will keep talking. We will keep talking. We must continue. Nonetheless, whether they like it or not, we will continue. They want to obviously just, they just don't want us to talk. Hi, Stephanie. How you doing? They don't want us to talk. They want us to just be, quiet. But we can't be quiet when all of this is happening. We aren't you tired? I know I am. I'm tired of this injustice. I'm tired of excuses for people who are simply incapable of giving us good governance. Hi, Emma. Good evening. So I'm tired of. We must stop all of the nonsense. I mean, like I said, in Kano, 200 million naira a month on buying fuel for 149 generators. Can you imagine the amount of fumes that is going to be in the air from those generators, and what kind of likely health implications that's going to be on the health of the Kano residents in the years to come? Can you imagine all of this? But these guys are not thinking about that. Oh, I'm the DG. I'm the Director General of the Kano something agency. So what? So what? This is the bad governance we're talking about, and yet these are the people that are enforced and imposed on the citizens. That's why I am saying what I'm saying, that we mustn't be silent. We cannot be silent in the face of this nonsense going on. We cannot be. Like I said, I know I'm being flagged and blocked by Facebook and all that. I will talk for as long as I can. They will extend it. I'll probably be, by the time all of this is finished, I'll probably be doing it. They'll probably block me for the whole of next week now. Doesn't matter. Look, we need to speak truth to power. So that's why they're blocking me from talking. Obviously, somebody somewhere doesn't want me. They say I keep contravening their rules. What rules? All I'm doing is coming here and talking. That's all I'm doing. So anyway, so I've talked about Rwanda, but in Rwanda now, like I talked about, they're making phones. They're making phones. Where's our own phone? Where's our own Nigerian phone that Nigerians can be using to create jobs for Nigerians? You see, the idea of creating anything. What does Mark Zuckerberg do? All of this Facebook that we're watching, it's creating millions of jobs for them in America as well. It's not here. This job is outside. It's creating millions of jobs. That's the idea behind creating a company. But in Nigeria, it's only Nigeria you will see they will bring foreigners in. They will leave you, the citizens, to suffer. They will healthcare. They won't fix. They will leave you to suffer, and they will say they are working for you. How? How? Yes, Wale Cox. Yes, Cox. You're right. Yes, our politicians have lost their brains. No critical thinking. Ignorance leaders. Exactly. So, I'm coming. We need to show them up. Show them up. Dangote is no businessman. He's no businessman. If he was a businessman, he would not make sure. He will make sure not one single truck moves in that country unless the roads are fixed. Because you see, all they do is to try and take resources out of that place. So anyway, this was about Rwanda making their own phones. As we speak now in Nigeria, what phones do we have? Like I said, there's a young man who's designed a generator, electricity generator, that can be run on water. Just water. Water. Why aren't we investing in that? Let me see if I can get his name out as I'm talking to you now. These are solutions. I'm giving us solutions on the ground, though. I'm not talking about praying or looking up in the eye. I'm looking at solutions on the ground that we can employ now. We can employ that solution now. But our government will never listen to those solutions. That is why we are saying that the contraption has failed. I'll give you the name of the man. And there are many others. I'll give you the name of this guy. The young man that's come up with this idea that is amazing. if I can get it up, hopefully the system will let me do it. I know it's, you know, let me see if I can find it. You know, I mean, we should be ashamed. We're ashamed. We have solutions right in front of us, and our leaders will rather go outside because they want to sign. The reason why they're going outside is simple. They're going outside because they want an opportunity to inflate the price of whatever contract they sign and make millions and become from nobody to become billionaires overnight. That's all there is. They know that if they put the contract in the hands of the locals, they will build slowly. There's no room for them stealing money. That's why they are clamoring. Why do you think the Director General for NNPC, he suddenly signed the 25 billion? Is it billion or trillion? 25 billion contract. When Kachuku was there in the last year, and he wasn't, and Kachuku, the head of Petrol, was not allowed to be part of that contract to see it. Why? Look, let's be honest with ourselves. That contraction has failed. It's failed. And like I said, the reason why I am coming and I won't stop. Like I said, they've restricted they've restricted what I can view and everything else. But you know, I'm not gonna stop. Right, here we go. So Nelson is the name of the guy. And Nelson has designed a power electricity in Nigeria where he can use just water and it will give us electricity in Nigeria. And yet these people will tell us we haven't got solution to the power situation. This is him here. That's him. Let me see if I can find it. There you go. See, that's his plan right there. We have solution, no. Never believe that we haven't got solution. It's just using water. And it powers light. Water. You see? It's just using water. You see? Water. You see?
The water just goes into this machine through here and
listen.
Here.
You see?
Then it returns back.
You see?
The energy actually comes from this battery first of all.
It uses water with battery. That's all it is. And it generates power. This is something that we could mass produce, and we can, with investment, he can perfect this in Nigeria and we can have power now. And yet they will say, no, we don't have any ideas. We don't know how to do it. It's only the Oyimbos who know how to do it. This is a Nigerian. This is a Nigerian doing this. And they are telling us that there's no, and they're telling you to pray. Pray for what? Pray for what? Pray for what? Tell me how prayer will give you light. This man is showing us how we can have light. But the government will not listen to him or many others. There are many others. This is just one example. This man is giving us how we can have light now. Not tomorrow. Not in a year. Now. But our government will not listen. Because there is nowhere where they can chop money from what he's doing. They will take the contract, go outside, so they can inflate it and make money. This is it. This is a young man. A young man. And he could imagine the impact of, look, I'm sitting down here. I've got power. I've got electricity. I've got all of this. Huh? So, okay, actually, I'll call you again. You can call me on this number. The number is back on now. I'll switch it on now. I'll switch it on. So this is a young man that's built power, electricity in Nigeria. And I just showed you. Huh? But our government will not invest in that. Instead, they will rather go and get a contract for a generator that only has 10 years lifespan, that has maintenance that you cannot do by Nigerians. It will be done by the people made in Germany, made in Spain, made in Italy, made in UK. Not employing Nigerians to do this work. What kind of madness is this? That's why that contraction is not working. That's why that contraction is not working. But we need to break this down. Look, forget the praying. I'm sorry to say it. We have the solutions. This young man just gave us the solution now to our power using water and battery. That's all he's using. No oil, none of that. Water and battery. And we have minerals on ground in Nigeria. We have over 34, maybe even 43 minerals that if we just tap into maybe just 2 or 3 of them, nobody should be unemployed in Nigeria. Nobody. We are endowed. You see, if you're going to pray, let me tell you something. If you're saying you need to pray, pray because you have no resources. Pray because you have no water. Pray because you have no brain. We have it all. We have it all. So what are you praying for? What are you praying for? I want to know what you are praying for. Is it oil you want? You have it. Is it gold you want? You have it. Is it bitumen you want? You have it. If it's diamond you want? You have it. Is it nuclear you want? You have it. Everything is there. Everything. And yet they are telling you to pray. Whereas those who come from foreign countries, they haven't got it. Whilst you are praying in your church, whilst you are turning your industrial complexes to churches, they come in, take the stuff at knockdown prices, at cheap, next to nothing, take it, go and build what you need, and come and sell it back to you. And you're saying you are praying. So what is exactly the point of praying? What is exactly the point? I want to know. Make I find out today. I'm going to read you something, if I can find it. I hope I can find you. A Professor La, he did a research. He said we have over 34 minerals in that country. Every state has minerals. Every state has minerals. Anybody telling you to pray, they are lying to you. Look at me, I said it. Anybody telling you to pray, they are lying to you. They want to keep you blinded. You never know. So you never know what you possess. The potential resources underneath your feet. Information is everything. Information is everything. We are blind. We got eyes. We can't see. We got brain. We can't think. We got mouth. We can't talk. We have it all. We have it all. In that contraption, we have it all. If I knew what I knew now when I was 20 about the resources we have in Nigeria, in that contraption, I wouldn't leave Nigeria. It's 30 years too late for me. For me now, it's 30 years too late. I can't do the work. I'm over 50. I've got health issues. But I still want the coming generation to build a future for themselves that will surpass anything we've ever seen on this planet. I want the coming generation to build a future for themselves in that place with the resources they have that will surpass anything we've ever seen on this planet. Because I was denied that opportunity when I was 20. Many others were denied the opportunity to have a flourishing future in that contraption because we were told to pray. We were told to believe in this, believe in that, give it to God, leave that one. Whereas we had the resources underneath our feet. I said it again. Every state has resources. Every single state. There is not one reason why we cannot turn that into a resource that can earn us income, that can create jobs, we can everything. We got no reason for not having people in work in that contraption called Nigeria. None. None. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying here. So they can cut my broadcast as much as they want. I will speak the truth. Every single state has resources. So if you're look in Europe here, they don't have anything. Do you know where they come to when they want resources? Do you know where they come to? I'll give you a guess. It's a huge continent. It's a continent they colonized in 1884. It's a continent that was full of riches. It's a continent that the Arabs came to and were marveled when they saw Mansa Musa walking from each state, from one state to the next, with gold to Mecca. You still haven't got it? It's Africa. That's where they come. When you see them buying the middle, when you see Mercedes-Benz, when you see Ferrari, when you see, where do you think the resources come from? Do you think they have those resources in Africa, in Europe? Do you think they have it there? They haven't got it. Where do they get it from? It's from Africa. And here we are, myself included. I go from my Africa, where it's got everything. I say I want to get a better life. I come here. I come to Europe. We go to America. We go to these places. And once we are living that good life, we're getting the good roads and everything you want, you get it here. But where is the resources coming from? It's coming from the place I left. It's coming from the place I left. There's a saying in Yoruba. You see, oni ntanwa ni apo, ntanwa lo shokoto. Mbele apo shokoto. I'll say it again for Yoruba people. Ntanwa lo shokoto. Ani imbe ni apo shokoto. What you are looking for in shokoto, you see, the word for shokoto in Yoruba is the same name as shokoto. It's got the same meaning. So what you are looking for in shokoto is in your pocket, in effect. So for us going out of that rich area is meaningless. It's a wasted journey. It's a wasted journey. They are fighting over Africa. I'm going to read you something. I want to read something. I was going to read something. And I want us all to key in on that when I finish reading it and have a real think. Whether you plan to go home or not, boss, have a real thing. Have a real thing. I hope I can find it. Let me see if I can't find it. So okay, Africa. I want to just read that hopefully before I can go. Africa resources. Okay, I want to just bring to you because I want you to start thinking. We need to start thinking differently. We've got to start thinking differently. We need to. This is a fool's paradise we've been sold. You know? Yeah, they love to be as long as it's been easy way out. Exactly. Yeah, let me just see if I can find out. I just wanted to. I want to just read this to you, and I want you to stay in your mind. Right. Okay. Here we go. Right. Here we go. I'll read this to you quickly. I'm going to save this one at the same time because I want to just do a research. Let's see. Africa is blessed with a rich bounty of natural resources. The continent holds around 30% of the world's known mineral reserves. They include cobalt, uranium, diamond, gold, as well as significant oil and gases. I'll read that again in case you misunderstood what I'm saying. I'll read it one more time. Africa is blessed with a rich bounty of natural resources. The continent holds around 30% of the world's known mineral reserves. These include cobalt, uranium, diamonds, and gold, as well as significant oil and gas reserves. And yet here we are, many of us, we die in the Mediterranean trying to go to Europe. We get enslaved going to Saudi Arabia and all these places. We get killed and do whatever, God knows what else, in other parts of the world. But the riches of this planet is in Africa. And yet we, the sons of Africa, are not aware of this. Because we don't have that knowledge, we believe the lies that we were told. We believe in all the books, the false books placed in front of us. And we get on a ship to go across from, and we leave the riches behind. And who are we leaving it for? The people that haven't got those riches. They come in and simply take it. And we are praying. I don't see them praying. Do you see them praying? Do you see Europe praying when they want resources? France, for example. France have got 14 African countries that they forced to pay. They forced them to pay France $500 billion a year. And what is worse, those countries, when they pay them, France will give back 15% to them on loan of their own money. What's worse, France now prints their currency, the CFA. They print it for them. France hasn't got any resources. They haven't. They got zero. Yes, we have the capacity. I just showed you. Lolo, I just showed you a young man. We have the capacity. Let me show you a young man again. No. We're not going to say that again. We have the capacity. We do. Let me show you the young man. I'll show you a young man again. He's got the plan. He's got electricity working. He's got a plan. Let me show you. Here we go. We need to do research. Here we go.
I couldn't even believe myself, seriously, honestly.
Emeka Nelson is his name. Here we go. See, we have the capacity. This man has powered light using water and batteries. He can do it. We have the capacity, my sister. We do. We do. Don't believe that lie. It's a lie. It's a myth. It's a myth that's been told. Since 1884, we've been brainwashed to hate who we are. We've been brainwashed to hate who we are and embrace what we are not. My job is to make sure that each and every African, wherever you are on the stratosphere of things, on the scale of situation that we are in, begin to reconnect back to who you are. Begin to reconnect back to who you are. You need to know who you are. You come from ancestors that built great kingdoms. Kingdoms that they marveled at. The Arabs came, they marveled. Europeans came, they marveled. From all over the planet, they came to Africa. And they saw great kingdoms. And they couldn't believe what their eyes were seeing. They couldn't believe the riches that the people had. That's what we come from. That's the greatness that we must connect with. Now look at what happens here. Look at what happens with the churches. You got the Bible, you got the crosses, you got the half a moon all over Africa. But look at where all our artifacts are now. Look at where all our artifacts are. Go to the museums. Everything that connects to you as an African, that is great stuff. You have to look at it from behind the screen. Our kids don't know this. Go to British museums, go to German museums, go to American museums, go to Canadian museums, go to French museums. They've taken away many of the things that makes us great. And they've given us, look, we are celebrating Halloween. People come and in a few months, a few weeks time, they'll be celebrating Halloween. That's their culture. Why aren't we celebrating what comes from us? We are told those things are bad. They say, oh, we shouldn't do that. But they put those things in a museum and they're earning money. They get tourism to come to see those things in a museum. It happens here in London. It happens in France. It happens in Germany. It happens all over the world, all over the Western world. We are great people. And we need to start embracing that. And we need to build trust among each other. That's my job here. My job is to make sure that we begin to look at each other with a new, fresh pair of eyes. They've closed our mental mind and mental eyes. They've closed our psychological mind. They've closed our mouth. So what we're saying is what we've been told to say to each other, psychologically, physically, mentally, in every shape, every way you can think of. So my job, and as well among others, is to make sure that we know that that greatness that we're trying to look for everywhere else is in us. Is in us. Is in us. It's not anywhere else. It's in us. Don't go looking for what you have. You have your gold in you already. You just need to let it shine. Give it a rub and it will shine. But it needs trust among each other. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying here. I passionately believe that. I've read so many books that I can't, too many to mention on here. I might bring one or two on to read to you. But many of the stuff that we've been taught in schools are simply pure lies. They're lies. They're lies to take your mind away from your greatness. I just read to you now. I don't know if I showed you. Let me see if I can. Let me see. Where was it now? I thought I put it up. Hang on 1 second. Let me see if I can bring it back. Hopefully it will come back. I should have put that up. I told you that 30% of the world's mineral is in Africa. Cobalt, gold, diamond, uranium, oils and gases, many other countless stuff is in Africa. It's in Africa. We are rich, but we're not aware. Because we are busy practicing these religions that they're putting in our faces, we are not tapping into the resources underneath our feet. We are leaving it for others who are coming from outside. Look at China. Whilst we are busy praying, China is now moving in to take what is ours from us. And we are still praying God will help us. May God come and... God has blessed us with everything we need. Every state in that contraption called Nigeria has countless resources that will create jobs. Tourism can come. Look, if we get it right, that would be a place where people come. This place will outshine Mecca. It would outshine Jerusalem. It would outshine Rome. All of those three places combined, it will outshine it. If we get this right, it would. Look, they would not have seen anything as amazing as what we will build if we first wake up our mind. They've got our mind. These people have got our minds. They've got our collective minds. It's in their palm. When they tell us we're like this, we believe it. When they tell us we're like that, we believe it. We don't question anything. We don't question it. That is why Dangote now had to say it was when he went to speak to Bill Gates. Bill Gates told him that he hasn't got healthcare in his own nation before he knew there was no healthcare. Isn't that absurd to hear? To the ears alone, as an African, that you have to go and hear that you have no healthcare in your country by going to New York for Bill Gates to now tell Dangote you have no healthcare. Can you see how mentally retarded that Dangote is? If he's saying that he doesn't know, can you see that? And can you see that perception of what our idea of ourselves? Perception of ourselves is from the view of the people who have colonized us. And we need to change that. It's not about getting angry with who colonized us. They've done their job. They've done what they wanted to do because they had a clear plan. They put it in place. 125 years. Now Africa is still enslaved, whether you like it or not. Those countries that you see, that you call countries in Africa, they're not countries. They're resource control points. They're places where they come and say that this is my place. I'm going to contract that resources, take it back to my country, build what I want, and sell it back to them. We're not free in that continent. None of us is free. We better understand that. If we're going to be free, it starts here. It starts up here. We free and the coming generation. We need to break this link. Those of us that know now, we make sure that the coming generation of Africans, we break the link from the entrapment that we are in. Why do you think Haile Selassie was killed? Because they knew that this man was supreme above all else. His descendants come from great people. But, that's another story. I'll come back to that later on. And you can trace the story back to the so-called Bible that they're doing. The proper Bible, African one. But that's another story. I'll leave that to one side. That's another story. But I'm just going back to what I'm saying. We have got to understand, if we're going to free ourselves, we start with our mind. We got resources underneath our feet. I'm finding out that we have resources that it's simply not available anywhere else in the world. They come to Africa to get it. But we kill ourselves, following a religion, following that religion, following Islam, following Christianity, and those who are giving us the religions, they come and take our resources, and we are still praying, and we are asleep. We are asleep. So my job is to wake us up. It's too late for me, but I'm glad I found out. But the coming generation, when I'm in my 70s, and people ask me, if they say to me, okay, you know all this, what did you do? I will just say, please type in CitizenAY, and the information you find on there, you will find plenty of information that will tell you what I have done. I hope you can learn from it. Then I will rest easy. I'm not doing this for me. I'm not doing it. I'm doing it for the coming generation. We are asleep. Yes, of course, our leaders. Look, the leaders are brainwashed. Look, they are even handpicked. In the 70s, when Buhari came through Sandhurst said that Buhari is not a leader. He hasn't got the capacity to deal with a country. He's only trained to lead military men. In Sandhurst, this is what they wrote about Buhari. This is not me. Look, there are books about this. That they said he's not trained. All those people who are the military men who became our leaders, they're not trained to become anything near being leaders of a nation. But isn't it interesting? Those are the same people that the colonials made sure became our leaders. And we don't have a think. We have not thought about it to say, this is not right, because we've been conditioned to accept and not question. That's the role of the religions. The role of the religions, both Islam and Christianity, has been to make sure that whatever they tell us, we go, yes, the Bible said so, and I will stick to that. So we don't question them. And whilst we are busy doing that, they are cutting away our resources. These are the facts. Please don't get angry. I don't want you to be angry. I don't want you to be upset. We need to understand what was done. I don't want you to even blame those who did what they did. But I want you to understand what was done. Because when you understand what was done, you can begin to fix it. This young man needs your help. This young man, because let me just get his name out. Nelson, I think. Is it Nelson? I'll just get back up again. Yeah, I'll just get his name up. 1 second. Nelson. Hang on, let me just get. Yeah, Nelson. Emeka Nelson needs your help. He needs our help. Instead of us buying generators outside that will give us, we are buying stuff from foreign countries that's killing us. The generators that they bought in Kano, they're spending 200 million naira every month on, is spewing out fumes that is killing us. But we have people like Emeka Nelson on ground who is giving us energy that will give us, that's coming from water, that will not give us any fumes to make us live long. But we ignore it because we are so mentally conditioned to accept everything that is different from us, everything that is not from us. This is all conditioning. This is all conditioning. And it is until we understand that Africa won't move forward, let alone Nigeria. We won't move forward. So my job when I'm talking is to wake us up. We've all been collectively asleep. Blaming each other will not solve this problem. But looking at how This young man, Emeka Nelson, and others like him. There's a man who's got a cure for AIDS in Nigeria. Till today, the government will rather they ignore him instead of doing research and assisting him to create an employment to use the same drugs right across Africa. Oh, no. They go and get from America. They go and get from the US. They go and get everything of self. And what does the Bible say? You have to give yourself to Christ and everything else. When you give yourself, you're not worthy. Your Lord is this. So we give ourselves. So we that mentality, we can't separate that from ourselves because we think we are not worthy. And this is what's been done to us mentally. This is what's been done. Look, don't get angry. I'm not telling you to get angry. I'm telling you to understand. That's what I'm here for. To make sure we understand that every step we are taking now, you see, guns, we don't need guns. We need to wake up our minds. All of this stuff has been done to us even before we were born. In 1884, they came up with an idea. The idea was to make Africans eat, sleep, drink, think. European models. All of this stuff has been done the way it is. The leaders that we think are leaders now, they are working. Why do you think Buhari comes here every few months? Why? Is it because you think he likes it? The ones who picked him, they chose him to be our leader. He's a control. That's how they're controlling Nigeria. Let's be very, very clear. And whoever even if it's not Buhari, whatever, they still control. The fact is they're controlling what's going on there. When Prince Charles came to Nigeria recently, he sat ahead of all our kings and queens in all emirs, obas, all of them. He sat at the front. What does that tell you? What does that tell you as an African, as a Nigerian? It tells you that we are not anywhere near where we should be. And like I said to you, all our artifacts, all of the stuff, when they destroyed the Benin Kingdom, when they destroyed the Yoruba Kingdom, they took away many of our art stuff, many of our symbolic arts. It's in museums. Those museums, they earn money for them every year. But yet we're told that those things are bad. They are evil, they are nothing, but they earn money from it. Do you see the psychology here? They tell us that these things are bad, they are evil, they are horrendous, they are that. But those things, they show them in museums where they earn money. The people that gave you the Bible, that gave you the Quran, the things that they told you are bad about yourself, they take it away and they go and put it in a building and they make money from it every year. We have to do a real rethink. Don't get angry. It's not about getting angry. It's understanding. So when you now begin to understand, like I said, how can you have a so-called DG spending 200 million naira every month on oil in Kano to fill 149 generators, and you think that you're making progress for your people, without thinking that by spewing those oils there, you're killing your people. You're killing your people. You're killing them. We have everything we need here. They don't. We have everything we need right there in Africa. They don't. You know, look, what I'm saying, thank you very much, Lolo. I'm so glad you said that, because I don't want people to misconstrue what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong in praying. And when you do some more research, I think you'll find that I'd rather you start thinking more of the spirituality of Africa and the connections in that way. But listen, that's bitter as it may. But right now, those things, look, even the clothes we wear, we want it to be Europeanized. We want it to be Arabic. We want it to be anything other than what we are. But these guys marvel at what our ancestors did till today. I talk about it. The pyramids, it's in Egypt, built by black people. In Benin, the longest wall in the world, earthworks in the entire world, the Benin Wall was built by us, black people. And these guys marvel, but we don't know about it. We're not taught about that. Algebra, maths, sciences, this come from Africa. We are the first humans on the planet. So I know people will think, where am I going with this? We don't know who we are. And because we don't know who we are, they tell us what we are and we believe it. So we need to stop that. It starts in our mind. We don't need weapons. We just need to wake our minds up. That's why I keep putting this hand up to our head, to my head, that look, we need a mental reawakening. You know, even those Fulanis who are doing what they're doing now. Since the 7th century, the Fulanis have been colonized, have been taken over by Islam. Since go and look at it, 7th century till today. They told them, right, to give yourself to Allah, give everything you have. They told them to give up their African names. That's why you have Alaji and all that stuff. That's not part of Africa. That's Arabic. But whilst they're doing that, they completely, just like Europeans are doing with us in the West, in the South. Look, we need a lot of research. But anyway, put that to one side. Going back to now, I'm going to stop that now because I don't want to, Yes, sir. Yes. Oh, with constant learning, we can do it. With constant learning, when we understand. Now, when I found this out, it was mind blowing. It was mind blowing to the point, like I was like, God, I've been asleep, literally asleep. I've been put to sleep. Look, even the food that we are eating, meat wasn't part of our diet all the time. In the 70s, it wasn't part of our diet all the time. Now look at the rate of cancer in Africa, in Nigeria. In the 70s, the rate of cancer was way less than we have now. Right now, people are eating meat, and the cancer rate has what? Gone up. People are eating sugar. Who's got diabetes? In the 70s, what's diabetes? It wasn't in our diet. But because we're having sugar, we're having all of this stuff, they cut the limbs off because the sugar is weakening your system. It's not part of what we do in Africa. They're saying, malaria was killing. When you had grapefruit mixed with something else in Nigeria, you drank grapefruit and all, they won't come next to you because your blood has been empowered with this stuff. But we don't know this stuff because we're so busy, in the package and everything else. We've lost who we are. There's so many things. There's so many levels to what I'm saying. There's so much. But I don't want to bombard people with it. Just for now, let's just start with fixing where we are. And one of the things that we should be doing is to empower each other. I want us to start believing that Africa is a great continent. It's a continent that's got everything that we need. And we need to fall in love with Africa. We need to do our research individually and begin to collectively trust each other. Because right now, what those religions have done is to put in a strong element of mistrust, distrust. And so that manifests in how we have something called self-hate. We've been taught to self-hate ourselves. Everything about us is bad. Everything. Exactly. So, exactly, my brother. So, look, there's a lot of information out there. I've had to do a lot of research. And I'm still doing, and I don't even know 10% of what is out there. But what I know now, it's completely. If I were to start telling you what I know now, give me 6 months, I'm still in it. 6 months, I'm still telling you what I've uncovered. But there's still so much more to find out. So much more. But what I'm saying is, let's begin to, first of all, be aware and start teaching our people that leaving Africa and coming to Europe is like leaving gold on the ground and going to live in a shack. Let me say that again. Leaving Africa is like having a pot of, having gold everywhere around you, walking away from it and going to live in a place where it is cold, there's nothing there for you. There's nothing that can benefit you. Everything that you need is where you are originally. And that's what we're doing. But because we've been trained, this is training. This is like 300-400 years of training to make us distrust and hate who we are. Our women bleach. Us men, we're looking for fair-skinned women. Our kids, we're taught to self-hate. These are stuff that has happened. Please don't get angry. This is not a blame. But we need to understand how this was done. If you want to pray, pray. But please understand that before you pray, even in your area that you're praying, I'd rather that you look around and go, I heard that in my state we have how many people are doing, how many schools say, okay, teachers, children in school, how many resources do we have in our state? How many schools do that? How many schools go on school trips with children and say, look, in our state, we have these resources. Here, go and have a look. What can we do with it? How many schools do that in Nigeria? But how many schools do you see that will be church-based schools? How many? What does that do? You're so engrossed in being the Bible and in the Quran, you don't see the resources that's underneath your feet. Is that not taking your mind away from what you have? Is that not coloring your mind to make sure you don't know the riches beneath your feet? That's brainwashing. That's brainwashing. We need to unlearn all of this stuff. We are great people when we don't know it. Those who are coming to Africa, they know we are great people, but we don't know it. And because we don't know it, we now hate each other because they told us to hate each other. Huh? So this is, I mean, I know I've changed topic a little bit, but it's all related. Let me see if I can I wanted to touch on that before I go. And like I said, one of the things we need to understand in Africa, we need to start teaching ourselves, making sure we understand. Do one simple example. Do one simple thing for me. If you're in Nigeria right now, I want you to type in your state in Nigeria. I want you to type in your state. I want you to type in what minerals are in my state. If you have a laptop, if you have a phone, type it and look at it. Just look at the resources you have in your state. And then when you do that, type in UK and see how much resources they have. The one we want to come to. Type in France and see how much resources they have. Type in Spain and see how much resources they have. We just comparing it with your state, not with the whole country, just your state. I want you to compare with just your state. And when you find that, please write something back on this page for me so I can see it. So that you can know yourself. It's not me saying this. It's in our soil. We are born with this thing. But we don't know it. We don't know it. Chai! We don't know it. Yes, of course, you don't get it. No. We don't get, no. Diabetes is a gradual process of when you've been eating sugars and sweets and everything else and the wrong kind of thing over time. Then your body starts, failing to produce insulin because it's a lack of insulin. But that's because your system has been completely destroyed. So it happens over time. But I mean, I hope this is of benefit to people anyway. I wanted to share this information because and I will come back and talk about this in different formats. But please do one thing for me. In fact, I will see if I can do. I will try and do that comparison myself on the page at some point. But if you can, whatever state you come from, those of you watching me now, type in the resources, type in the state. Type in and say, what resources, mineral resources do we have in my state? Just do that alone. And that will get you thinking, hang on, if I have the resources, and you start beginning to think, because you're thinking about, oh, money this, money that, money. You've got the resources right there. then if we know that information, then we now more likely to now be keyed into knowing our rights as people of that contraption. We don't know all these things. Every single state has got mineral resources that these people who are coming would die for. Oh, we're not talking about no. I don't want any tribal issues here. Yeah, exactly. Resistance have been there as long as been advanced information have made it easier to discover them and treat them. Exactly. Yeah, you're right. But listen, guys, I hope this has been beneficial. I'm gonna try and stop here. I was gonna try and do something before, but it wouldn't work. I'll just try it one more time. I hope I've covered everything I wanted to cover. I want to just look at before I go. But I just want us all to. Oh, it's not gonna let me do it for today. I don't know why. But anyway, let's see. So I've talked about Chiworego for me. I've talked about the petition. Please continue to sign the petition. I've talked about Dangote and the nonsense he spoke about. I've talked about Rwanda. I've talked about the fact that that in Africa we possess a lot of resources that we don't know of. I've talked about the fact that we celebrate Halloween, and yet all our great art stuff, artworks and caricatures and things are in a museum. We're not allowed to touch it. We are told it's bad, yet they earn money from it. I've talked about the fact that we need to understand that Africa is a great continent. We've got a lot of resources. I've talked about the fact that what we should be doing in each state, each of us now, ask people, just type in how many resources are in my state. And what is the government, how many are being used, and these are the kind of things we need to start asking ourselves. We need to start information, because when the churches, when you're busy praying, you don't know what is underneath your feet. That's just a book. That's just a book. As a Christian, as a Muslim, when you're engrossed in the Bible, engrossed in the Quran, the resources are there for others who will come and take it, and that's what they're doing. Our mindset has got to change. If you still want to go to church on Sunday, but at least before you go to the church, know what resources you have and what you can do with it and how you can use it to better your life. When you better your life, go and pray. Fine. If you must pray. But do the thing you need to do first. 59 years of being in poverty should tell us we need to wake up. 59 years of being in poverty in the land where we have everything we need. Let me do a little thing, if I can do this now. I want to try and do something now. I want to just to prove my point to you, and I'll read it out. Because information is everything. The books are there to occupy our minds so we don't know. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. For example, I just typed in Ogun State. Yeah? I just typed in Ogun State. Listen to this now. Listen to this now. The state has abundant resources that include forest and water bodies, as well as large quantity of mineral deposits such as limestones, phosphate, granite stone, gypsum, bauxite, bitumen, feldspar, clay, glass sand, kaolin, quartz, tar sand, gemstones, crude oil in one state. In one state. Let me say it again. The Ogun State has abundant natural resources that include forest, water bodies, as well as large quantities of mineral deposits such as limestones, phosphate, granite, stone, gypsum, bauxite, bitumen, feldspar, clay, glass sand, kaolin, quartz, tar sand, gemstones, and crude oil that are available all in commercial quantities. So why are people unemployed in Ogun State again? Now let me do something. I'll keep that up to prove what I'm saying to you. I'll keep that up. Let me just do just one thing in London, in UK. Let me just see. The mineral resources in the UK that we all come to, listen now, the mineral resources in the UK that we come to, yeah, include oil, gas, coal, and a group known as industrial minerals. How many is that again? Oil, gas, coal, and a group of industrial minerals. Okay, let's say it's 4. 4 in UK. Now let me go and read you back what we had. You see, that was in the UK, the whole of UK. 4. 4. In Ogun State alone, listen carefully, in Ogun State, we have limestone, phosphate, granite stone, gypsum, bauxite, bitumen, feldspar, clay, glass sand, kaolin, quartz, tar sand, gemstones, crude oil. That's over 14. That is over 14. So what's happening, my people? Do you still want to carry on with your Bible and your Quran? One state, 14 minerals. One country, 4 minerals. And we all leave the state that's got 14 minerals and rush to the place where they have only 4. My people, make we receive sense. Let me bring in another state. Just to show to you what I'm saying here. Please do share this. This is really important information. I hope you're learning from this. Please share this. Right, let me type in Katsina. Katsina. What minerals? Yeah. I just want to try something here, because this is right. Okay. Here we go. Guys, listen now. In Katsina State alone, gold, manganese, laterite clay, feldspar, black tourmaline, amethyst, quartz, kaolin, mica, gypsum, sillimanite, clay, granite, uranium, asbestos, tourmaline, serpentine, asbestos. That's dangerous, but you can use it. Chromite, ilmenite, diamond, graphite, iron ore, potash, sand, silica sand. In Katsina State. Let me read to you what they have in the UK again. The mineral resources of the UK include oil and gas and a group known as industrial minerals. In each state, we have over 10 minerals. I've just read Katsina, Ogun. This is just random. I haven't even, and I'm telling you that those 2 states combined, they have 5, 6, 7, 8 times more than this country has. UK. So what are we talking about? We need to wake up. Let's stop hating each other. The Bible and the Quran are there to distract you from your greatness. I keep telling you this. Quote me on that. Anywhere you go, the Bible and the Quran are designed to continually to cover your mind, to never open your eyes to see what is underneath your feet. Because if you do, you wouldn't come here. You wouldn't. And you would do everything you can to make your people aware. Each one teach one. Now, this information that I'm just telling you now, don't keep it to yourself. Share it among your friends. This is free. I don't need to hide it. I want us all to know, because it's only by changing this that we can change our mindset. The country I'm talking to you, they've only got 4. And it's in small quantity. You can put, Nigeria is 3 times the size of UK. And they only have 4 minerals. Nigeria is 3 times the size of UK. And they only have 4 minerals. I've just read to you 2 states. They have over 20 minerals. The 2 of them. Over 20. And we are talking about people are in poverty. It's a poverty of the mind. We are looking at riches underneath our feet, and we don't see it because we are busy believing in Christianity and Islam, and that's clouding our minds. I am firmly go and type it. I've said it to you now. Please, those of you watching me now, please share this broadcast, because this is a revelation moment. It's a moment that should be in your mind to make you understand that what is going on is sheer brainwashing, and we need to unlearn it. Let me pick one more state, just to be, just to, pick one more state. Right, let's pick one more state. Plateau. Yeah? Plateau. Okay. Plateau State. Minerals. Yeah? Right. Right. Okay. In Plateau State, Plateau State has the world's largest known deposit. I don't feel, if I don't laugh, I go cry. If I don't laugh, I go cry. Let's just listen. The world's largest known deposit of columbite and ore of niobium found associated with tin has also been exploited since 1940s. Smaller quantities of tantalite, wolfram, tungsten, kaolin, zircon, and uranium are also mined. Lead and iron ore are found in the eastern central state of Plateau. I keep telling you all. The only way we can defeat the likes of Buhari is by sharing this information. Because if all of us know what is beneath our feet, you think, let me find out how many people will go to church or to the mosque. When you're finding out what you are praying for is underneath your feet. Those are, what I'm reading to you are riches. And what did I tell you UK has? I'll save that. Let me save that. You see, information is out there. But if we don't access that information, we're finished. What did I tell you? I'm going to I'll just do something with that. For those who are, this is a very key moment. And it doesn't matter how many people is watching. The most important thing is that information is out there. Please do share this. I want you to share this broadcast, this particular broadcast. I want you to share it with all your friends. And I want them to please. I will play this back. I'm gonna do this on a what do you call it? Watch party. I'm gonna put this on watch party over and over and over and over and over and over. And I will keep doing that till I'm hoping that we will all wake up. We must all wake up. I've read 3 states. There's over 30 minerals, one of which is the largest in the entire world. And we say we are poor. Is it poor physically, or mentally? You tell me. Are we poor, poverty-minded, poor, or physically? Is it that we have the riches, but because we've been so conditioned to think in a particular way and to pray and to be, that we don't see it? You tell me. Please share. I urge you, everyone watching this, I urge you, you know that what I'm saying is right. You know, putting your sentiments aside, I've just told you the key to solve our problem in that place. In fact, in the whole of Africa, this is the key. Without information, those who don't want us to know will give us false information to fight ourselves long enough for them to cut away what we have. And that's where we are. Columbite, the largest known reserves in the entire world, is in Plato. But my people don't know that. But if you ask my people about the Bible, Psalm 23, for God so loved, Psalm 23, Revelation, they will quote it. But what is underneath their feet that they can use to better their lives and the coming generations? They don't have a clue. For where they don't know harm. They go be prayer warriors. They go be imam this. They go be that. But look, the people who are controlling us haven't got a fifth of what we have. It's all about information. And I'm prepared to share it. I don't need it. I want you all. I want us all to enrich our coming generation. This is not about me and you. I'm thinking about 200 years ahead. 200 years from now, I want Africa to regain its greatness. 200 years from now, Africa, including Africa and Nigeria, including that, and we will have our names. We will go back to our own names. I am a Oduduwa man. I am a Yoruba Oduduwa man. I am a direct descendant of the of Oduduwa. That name, and the maso Yoruba me, and one other mama so Yoruba Majagara, we will speak in our own language. Your language is called vernacular. Your culture, they say, is inferior. Your food, they say, is not good for you. Your clothes, they say, even our judges are wearing gowns made here. Everything about us is negative. We have to have something else. What does that tell you? Let's think about this. What does that tell you? In schools, like I said, if you speak your language, they say it's vernacular. What does that do to your brain? It makes you hate who you are. People, we are small in number, but the information I'm giving you here is priceless. It's priceless. Take it, share it, make sure you make others aware. The country of UK has only 4 minerals. One state has over 12, 14, 15 each. And we say we are poor? What kind of poor is that? Is it poverty of the mind? Or poverty, physical poverty? I think it's poverty of the mind. I think we need to educate ourselves. So I'm saying that. I mean, like I said, I could pick one more state. Let me pick Abia State. I'll just pick Abia State. Just random. I'm picking random now. I'm just keen now. I'm just curious. Where we are. Let me pick. Hang on, let me see. No. I don't want that. Casino. Okay, I'm just gonna pick Abia State. Yeah. 1 minute. I'm just gonna we need to just do. This is the kind of thing we need to be doing. You know, I hope. Are you all still with me? Are you all still with me? I hope you're still with me. Those who are still here. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. 10 popular natural resources in Abia State. Limestone, gypsum, kaolin, copper, laterite, phosphate, tar sand. What else? There's about 10 of them in Abia State. Abia State. You think it's both? Okay, Lolo, yes. You might be right. Yeah, it might be both. Yes, you could be right. Yes. So, yeah, you said, I cry for my generation. We may start the struggle now, but I pray that our children will benefit from this acceleration because I know it's not realizable. Yes, you're right. That's what I've said. Lolo, I said it. I'm saying 200 years from now. No. What I'm saying now is not going to benefit us now. But we need to start. The key thing is to start. I just told, look, every single state that I've mentioned has more resources than the UK. Every single state. But you will find our children know more about Christianity and Islam than they know what is in the soil underneath their feet. That's a failure of governance of a monumental scale. Failure of governance. I will keep saying it. Failure of governance. I've just proved to you now that these religions that we are following are blinding us to the solutions to our problems. I'll say it one more time. These religions that we are following are blinding us to the solutions to the problems that we face. Deliberately so. Deliberately so. And I say it emphatically. Emphatically. Our cultures, our artworks are stuck in museums around the world. And we've been so conditioned to accept that we don't think, no, this is part of who I am. I want it back. The countries who have nothing are telling us how to do things when we have everything. It's in our soil. Everything that we need is in our soil. We are blessed. If they're going to talk about God's own children, we are the ones. We are it, but we don't know it. We don't know it. When I'm reading what I'm saying to you now, it's painful. It's painful. When you have this kind of information, there's no amount of riches anybody can place. There's no amount of money anybody can place in your hands to match this knowledge. None. Zero. They can write a check and take it $1 billion, whatever. These are just words. They are just paper. On that soil, each and every one of us are billionaires, and we don't know it. On that African soil, each and every one of us are billionaires, and we don't know it. Proof? UK has only 4 minerals in small quantities. We have this by the bucket load, whatever, countless. They've been taking resources from Africa since the 3rd century. And they're still taking it. And it is still there. It is still there. It is still there. People, my brother Fino, please type in your state. I want you to type in your state. Type in mineral resources in my state. Please, whatever state you come from, type it in. And put the list of the minerals. And wherever you are now, if you are in Italy, type in Italy. And see the resources they have in Italy. Just compare the two. Just your state, or not the whole of Nigeria. Just your state. Please do that. I'd like to see it on screen. So you do that. Let's do this. Look, let's all do this ourselves. When you understand this, then you know all of these words is there to confuse you, to combobalize you, to make you completely lose your, train of thought. They did a few things to us, quite a few things, clever things. When you hear about Africa, when you hear about Egypt, you always, when I read about Egypt, my idea was, as far as I understood, Egypt was not in Africa. But when I grew up, I understood that Egypt was in Africa. Look, it's not about getting angry. It's understanding what's done. Like I said, just do that. Whatever state you are in, just type it in. Let me check. I want to check mineral resources in France. Yeah? Let's just see what they have in France. Let's just do that. This is, this is a learning moment for all of us, for us all. And please share it. You're privileged to be part of this moment, because this is a moment that was not, this was not a moment, I didn't plan this, but I was going to talk about it, and this is a pivotal, life-defining moment for us all. It is. France. Okay. Okay. Okay, it says here that they have natural resources: uranium, coal, iron ore, bauxite, zinc, antimony, arsenic, potash, gypsum, and fluorspar. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So France, it's a big country, they have that. But still, nonetheless, what do? Let's type in what Mali has. Let's type in what Mali has in resources. Okay? Because France owns Mali. They tell you they're free. They're not free. Mali is not free. Let's type in Mali. Mali natural resources. Let's have a look. Okay. Okay, here we go. Mali has considerable, listen, Mali has considerable natural resources with gold, uranium, phosphate, kaolinite, salt, limestone being most widely exploited. Mali is estimated to have in excess of 17,400 tons of uranium measured and indicated referred, and a further uranium mineralized north zone was identified. Now you can now see why France is there by hook or by crook. Considerable, yet we are all poor in Africa. I read to you what France has. France has some minerals, but not in quantities that you could see in Mali. That's just Mali. What about Gabon? What about Senegal? What about Ivory Coast? What about all of these places? Let me tell you something, what people do on it. I'll read. I'm going to do mineral resources in Congo. Let's do this. Just to conclude to you, those who come with the Bible and the Quran, they haven't got those resources. Not in the quantity that we have it. They haven't. So I want you to decide. Mineral resources in Congo. And Congo is in a war now. It's about resources. Mineral resources in Congo. In Congo. Okay. Let's have a look. Congo has limitless water, a benign climate, rich soil. Beneath the soil, it has abundant deposits of copper, gold, diamond, cobalt, uranium, coltan, and oil are just some of the minerals, and it makes it one of the richest countries in the world. My people, religion as practiced as both by Islam and Christianity is a fraud. It's a fraud. It's a fraud designed to confuse you, and never make you question those who are defrauding you. In fact, it's asking you to love those that are defrauding you. I've been reading to you now. I'm reading to you countless minerals in our soil. Yes, we do. We do. That's why I'm saying this. We need to really rethink where we are going. And even those fools who are in leader, who call themselves leaders, they are handpicked to do the dirty work of those who want to keep us divided, who want to keep us never knowing the true riches beneath our feet. I've gone into different countries in Africa now. You can see the resources in huge quantities. Huge quantities. So when they're telling you God can do this, pray to God, pray to this, it's a distraction. We had our own people. We had our own way of praying to God. Why is it that those things are behind a glass mirror? Why? Have you asked yourself that? And they tell us it's bad. It's behind the glass. They are making money from it. And they are making money from taking from us. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this is, I'm not going to go much more than this now. I think I want to, because it's a lot of information. It's almost mind-blowing. What I've just showed you now, it's almost mind-blowing. And it's something you need to take stock of and sit down and think. But please, 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 in anything, in all I'm saying here, if you get angry, you've lost it. Because that's the emotion that they want to get to. Once they get to that emotion and you get angry, you've lost the battle. You've lost the war. You've lost all of it. You need to sit down, think, what state do I come from? How many resources are there? How many people can I reach about this information? All of this stuff. Because we need to now understand, we need to begin to understand that these resources is what they are after. Without a shadow of the doubt. And that religion is just a tool of control. To control us, to make sure that we never understand that we have the riches beneath our feet. And we have to now begin to empower people. Children as young as 2-3-year-old must be taught this information. When they look in the soil, oh, you see, there are people that can smell things. They can smell what's in the soil. Our ancestors had that. They would take a soil and they could smell what's in that soil. And when you go and check it, it will be there. Is there a way to teach that skill? Is there a way to bring those skills back? All of this stuff that's been done is to distract us. Our soil is us. We are part of that soil. Our soil and us is one and the same. What they've done with the religions of Islam and Christianity is to give us something to block that pathway. I'm not saying this to say to hate anything. I'm just telling you what has been done. And I think you would agree with me that many of what I'm saying here, we can start by making moves to get back artifacts. Agree? We can start by voting in patriotic, selfless focus, discipline, and God-fearing leader. Yes, 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 yes. I would like to add something else. There's a Reverend Ike who passed away. And he's saying is this. He said there's God in each and every one of us. That means to say that there is a God in each and every one of us. We are born with the innate sense of right and wrong. And that is the God in each and every one of us. That's my saying, but I'll leave that to one side. But going back to what I'm saying here. Like I said, UK, that is ruling Nigeria, has only 4 resources. Yeah? UK, that is still in charge of Nigeria today, has only 4 resources. I've read you 3 to 4 states that has over 30 minerals in each state. Over 30. Each state has at least 15 in each state. 15 minerals in each state. 15 on average. What does that tell you? But then we will have our people. But yet, we don't have any research to get those things going. But go all over Nigeria. Churches, mosques, churches, mosque, churches, mosque. I'll read you something. Just to, if I can find it. If I can find it. I hope I can. I had something stored up. I don't know if I can find it. What has been done is when in 1884, when they came to take the land, they made sure that they had crosses up so that when the first thing you saw, when we were our elders built, our ancestors had their own things, landmarks that were very important to us, and they put it in the soil so it will demarcate the who you are praying to and everything else. They took all of those things away. All those things that they took away, all those things, they are in museums now. And then they gave us the crosses and the half moons. So that when we get up in the morning, now, all over Africa, what you will see are those things. So we believe that that's how things are. But the things that they took away, they put them in the museum and they don't want to give it back. Because they don't want us to come back, connect back to who we are. That's what's happened. Just don't be angry. Understand. Anger is not going to serve you here. It's understanding. When you understand, then you can walk ways in which you can address this. At least begin the process so that in 200 years' time, Africa will be free. In 200 years' time, we can be sure that Africa will be free. Africa is not free. No, it's not. And we have to be very, very cognizant of that fact. But by freeing our minds, you see, just by you knowing now that how much resources you have in your state alone is more than what they have in total in the UK. Just by knowing that, what do you think that does to your mind? It opens your mind to see what has been done. It opens your mind to see that there's actually quite a lot less than what they actually say they have here. There's a lot more at home. Aren't you a little bit more appreciative of what is at home now? Aren't you curious to see how you can help your people to now begin to actualize, to exploit these resources, to improve their lives on the ground? Do you now begin to see that this stuff about paper money is useless? The money that they're chasing about is useless. It's the resources on the ground. And we have it by the bucket. We have it in tons. The coming generation, when we get this right, the coming generation will live a life we can only dream of. But we must be prepared to put the work in to help them realize it. There's a lot of work to do for us. I'll keep coming back. I'll keep talking about this. Yes, Lolo Obidi. Indeed. And I even want to reach the Fulani brothers as well. Because I told you, you saw what was in the land in Katsina. Example. Let's go and look at, they found gold in Kano. There's many more. Each and every state. That land is blessed. Sorry, hello, sorry about that. Just have to take that call. Yeah, so listen, I'm going to wrap it up. I will wrap it up here, I think. But listen, if you are still going to church, go. If you are still going to the mosque, go. But before you start doing anything, start telling your friends. Every Nigerian you know, tell them to type in minerals in each of the states they come from. And tell them to type in the minerals in the place they are now in diaspora. Just to compare the two. Don't say anything more. Just do that. And see how they feel about that constitution. Tell them. Because we have riches beneath our feet in that soil, in our country, in that nation. In fact, the whole of Africa. That's I've demonstrated. But we don't know it. because we are busy fighting ourselves and saying I'm right in the Bible, I'm right, that is Bible. They don't. It's a tool. It's a tool of control. The Bible and Quran are tools of control and exploitation. That's all they are. If we recognize that, you can still read it. You can still go to church. In fact, I suggest you go to the church and the mosque, because you need to be able to see. When you go back now, you go with fresh pair of eyes, and you need to go in with those fresh pairs of eyes. So when the imam is talking and everything else, with this information, you can just start seeing what's going on. You be quiet. Just keep it to yourself. And then, among those churches and among those mosques, those who you see are seeking true knowledge, you let them know. That's your job. That's all you need to do. I don't go to church or any mosque anymore, because I know, like I said, I've been trying to prove a lot of things that for me. But for those who believe in that, I believe I connect directly to the Most High. There's a saying, I think there's somewhere in the Bible, your body is your temple. That's enough for me. My body is my temple. Through my body, I can pray to the Most High. That's for me. Others might want to do something more. That's fine. But in that doing something more, the information I just told you now about the mineral resources in the ground, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. All those praying and everything is cloak and dagger. It's cloak and it's mirrors to distract you from what is really going on. I hope you all benefited from this session. I will be sharing it, and I urge you, I'll do a word party on it. I'll urge you all to share it among friends and family right across the world, because we don't know the riches that we have beneath our feet in that soil. Fulani, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, all of that. We've allowed ourselves to be fighting ourselves because of people who are outside trying to distract us, fight each other. This is a very, very important thing that we must recognize. Even if we're going to go our separate way as Fulani and everything else, at least if we know those resources, when we go our separate ways, then we can set about doing those things. But who knows? Maybe if we know we have those things, we can work together to actualize it. Either way, we need that information. And we don't have it. And that information has got to spread right across the whole of that contraction called Nigeria. It has to. It has to. We don't know. We don't understand fully just how rich we are. With this information, you now understand that the billion naira is a drop in the ocean compared to the true riches you have as an African. You have it. You do. Exactly. Exactly. In abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. Exactly. So, please, this information must be shared across all your friends. Tell them to do that simple exercise. Just tell them to do that. Every single state has resources for each and every one of us, more than we can ever need. More than we can ever need. Oh, sorry guys, sorry about that. Sorry guys, listen, I gotta go. Listen, thank you very much for listening. I gotta go. I just have to go and do something now. I need to really rush off now. Thank you very much for watching. Please do share, and I'll put this on watch party afterwards. It's got key information for people to learn. We need to grow as people. We need to grow. We need to grow, and we are all asleep, myself included. We are waking up slowly, and we need to think of the generation 200 years ahead of us. That's what we're doing this for. Please, I thank you all very much for joining me. And listen, let's do this again, and we'll send more information. Thank you so much. Bye now. Bye guys. Bye.